Hey everybody, this is Chewy Plays Nintendo, and today I wanted to talk about some features still missing from Animal Crossing New Horizons. It seems Nintendo has been focusing on the very beginning of this game in all of the footage we've gotten so far. While this is great because it doesn't spoil too many of the secrets from later in the game, it does leave us wondering what will come of some of the features that are staples to the series. Before I blather your ears off though, please be sure to subscribe to my channel for a huge archive of Animal Crossing content, including podcasts, let's plays, and videos just like these. I will be sure to keep updating you with more great Animal Crossing news in the future. So let's get started. The first and probably most obvious thing that is missing in this game so far is shops and buildings. I know I heard a lot of feedback from people who really were not into this crafting idea and kind of really missed the idea of having shops to go through every day and, of course, pick up furniture, clothing, whatever you have, but thus far we have seen no sign of special characters or shops or anything, so big staples are missing right now. I'm talking like Able Sisters, the gardening shop, Kix, Shampoodle, the museum, the post office, the police station, and town hall even. The museum and post office and even the police station, those are all staples to our town. We're very used to coming into this town and being able to do a lot of activities right from the get-go, but it seems like they're shifting the activities and really focusing on building up this town and showing us a game that is, a town that exists prior to all of this being there. So we are going to see this place grow from the very bottom, and thus far, the footage has shown us that. We have only seen really the first, I would guess, about week of the game, and I mean, sure, there are other items and things and stuff that makes it look a little further along, so I don't know exactly how far they are in the footage, but as of right now, we're still missing one major feature of this. Yes, the crafting I'm very excited about, but I'm also excited to see what these shops will look like, how they will take place, whether or not they're going to show up just as pop-up shops in that middle plaza that we've seen before, or if we're going to be able to build them up in our town, or even build up our own main street later in the game. So who knows how they're going to handle it, but it is something that we haven't heard about yet, and people are getting worried because they are features that people really want. I know I'm most looking forward to the museum because I love collecting things and donating to museums. That's very cool. The next thing I want to talk about is tools. We've seen a lot of tools so far, but surprisingly enough, there are still some missing. One of the biggest ones is the slingshot. And while I'm at it, we haven't even seen balloons either. So the slingshot was introduced in Wild World since they added the dual screen and one of them was focused on the upper screen. That let us look at the UFO and the balloons and everything that flew by. So the slingshot has become a real main feature to the game. It's been in every game since, and we've been able to get really cool furniture. Of course, New Leaf kind of changed people's opinions with that after getting tons and tons of balloon furniture, but the Welcome Amiibo update did fix that, and you were able to get more than just balloon furniture from the balloons at that point. However, the slingshot is missing. I haven't seen it in any of the footage, and I'm really surprised. The next one I'm really surprised is missing is the wetsuit. Now, the wetsuit was introduced in New Leaf, but this completely added not only another, gameplay element, but it also added another layer to the museum. We were now able to swim through the ocean, deep sea dive, and catch things in the water. That is a completely cool thing that they added to the game, and it really expanded what we were able to do and collect, and as you know, the museum is something I really care about, and I hope we can still swim and do things. And it really doesn't make sense to me because we are on an island, and I would think that an island would be, I think the one activity I'm going to do on an island for sure is swim, unless of course it's rainy the whole time and I just can't get around to that, but you're going to find me spending some time in the beach, or on the beach, in the water, and having some fun in the sun, so that's what I would like. The other kind of smaller tools that we haven't seen are things like the timer, which just, you can set it up and have, bug catching contests, fish catching contests, whichever you are interested in. But you can set those up and have contests with friends, which it seems like a weird thing to not have at this point with 8-player 8-player islands, essentially, you should be able to still have that feature. The other one is the megaphone. That one was a new one for New Leaf that let you call out to some villagers. It was kind of funny how it worked. Sometimes your speech wouldn't go through and the villagers maybe wouldn't hear you too well, but that was a fun feature. But it is one that I expect to be missing, actually, because there isn't really a speaker on the Switch at all that you can, essentially speak to the system. So that one might be missing in this game. Alright, now here's a major one for me. Holidays. Yes, we have only seen very little parts of the game, and there hasn't been too much different times that we've seen. We've seen, essentially a shot from every season, but really the big thing that I care about is holidays. One of the biggest factors to having a real-time clock in the game is really implementing real-life holidays into the game. That gives you kind of these, I guess I consider them kind of like checkpoints to reach each year. It seems really fun every year to be waiting in Animal Crossing for a certain holiday, because you don't always celebrate a holiday in real life, but Animal Crossing makes it a little bit special. So it's something we haven't really seen yet. We have seen holiday lights or at least like Toy Day lights in some of the winter scenes in Animal Crossing, but that doesn't necessarily confirm that it is a holiday season, but I don't know, I guess it could be. However, I want to see kind of some more unique holidays. I know Wild World had some unique ones, like the Acorn Festival is a big one that I really liked there. The flea markets were pretty awesome, but yeah, overall, I want to see some holidays eventually, but I also don't mind those being surprises, so I don't really mind that we haven't seen them yet. Alright, this next one is kind of funny actually, because it is fruit and perfect fruit. Thus far, we've only really seen apples and coconuts on this island so far. We have spotted a pear, but that was, of course, only on a cardboard box, and that was an item that you could buy at Nooks. But outside of that, we have yet to see some of the fruit that have been in this game forever. We haven't seen peaches, cherries, oranges, and those are, they've always been in every game, so it's kind of surprising to me that we have basically not seen a lot of the things, and that leaves us a question too. Are there perfect fruits? Because now that we know that fruit plays a bigger role in this game and you can actually eat them for more energy, that's going to really change up our use of fruit and what we plant around our town. So I would expect perfect fruit to be able to give you just a little bit extra energy than the regular fruit did. Speaking of greenery, we haven't seen bushes or bamboo yet. Now, bushes and bamboo were both added in New Leaf, so those were new things, but I gotta say, bushes were one of my favorite new additions for that game. I know it's such a small thing, but having more landscaping options, especially in a game where you have so much more control over the exterior environment, I don't know, it feels like they're missing out on a really cool way to up the designs. And that, to be fair, I do believe a lot of this stuff that I've mentioned so far is going to be in the game. I do expect a lot of this, but thus far we have not seen it. There are features that are still missing, so before you go into the comments and tell me we haven't seen everything yet, I do know that we have not seen everything yet, but I'm just mentioning this because it's stuff that I care about. It's stuff that I really hope to see in the future. One of the other things that has been in every game thus far that we haven't really seen yet is the Happy Home Academy. Now, every game has had some sort of rating system for the design of your home. I wonder if we haven't seen it because it's going to work a little bit differently in this game. For example, thus far we've only really had to, I guess, get judged on the interior of our home, anything we decorate, like all of our rooms and everything, but that is going to change very soon. We're going to be designing essentially all of our island. Will the Happy Home Academy be a system that rates the entire island? Will it still stick to homes? I'm really wondering about this because I always enjoyed the rating system. I thought New Leaf really did a cool thing with it where it added like different challenges and things that you could do, and you could eventually get the golden furniture from that. So that was a pretty interesting thing to do. Of course, I never really did it because the golden furniture isn't the most appealing set, but it does reward people with something for doing those challenges and getting a higher score. That said, are we going to have some sort of showcase? Because the game, since I guess City Folk kind of added a happy room showcase where they'd show one room, I want to say a month. It was really not enough. But New Leaf really went all out with this and made it the whole Street Pass Plaza. They also could send Spot Pass homes over, so you could really go to that northern part of your town. And if you got a lot of Street Pass, like I did by going to conventions every once in a while, there were always really cool homes to look at and see. And then you could also buy furniture from them. That is really cool. So this actually gets me into my next topic, and that is sharing. Like I said, the Street Pass feature really allowed us to share our designs and even give people an opportunity to buy furniture that maybe they haven't seen in their game. But one of the big things that we could share in New Leaf was designs and dream towns. So the designs was essentially any pattern that you could make. You could get a QR code for that pattern, and then that pattern would just be easily scannable for people, and then they could download that design and use it in their own town. I did this with paths in the past. I've downloaded a lot of clothing. I really love a llama sweater that I have in my game. That's pretty fun. But overall, I don't know if we're going to get this one either, at least not in the same way that it existed, because the camera on the Switch is non-existent, essentially. We do have an IR camera on the Joy-Con, and somebody tweeted me about this, but somebody who was doing research on it did confirm that it doesn't have the best visibility, so QR codes would have to be fairly simple for them to work. They're confirming that it would work, but we just don't know how well it would work, so we don't know if that's the best thing. But yeah, Dream Towns was another big thing. Dream Towns got us from, it gave us a way to look at people's places without them being there. We could go and see a place, and, we had no effect on it, too. I think that really helped, too. People knew that others could visit without damaging any of their property, which is always a worry for people playing online with strangers, and it's always going to be a worry, because you never know. One bad apple can spoil the whole barrel, as they say. So who knows, but I would really like to keep that feature, especially with the islands being so much more customizable in this new game. So it's going to be a really cool feature if we do get it. Finally, the last biggest feature I had, before I just list off some smaller items, but the last biggest feature is randomly generated maps. I've seen this worry from a lot of people thus far. They are worried that we don't have randomly generated maps because this has been one of the key features of every Animal Crossing game. One of the biggest things with starting a town is really just seeing what your layout is going to be, what characters you're going to start with, where all your buildings are going to be, everything being randomized like that, and not completely randomized. There were some rules to it, but still, there was enough variety to really be surprised whenever you saw somebody else's town. Thus far, the footage looks like it's been on the same map, and so a lot of people are noticing that. They're noticing features and looking at the map and seeing that, oh, that's kind of the same place, and they're seeing different characters in these places, and so it's natural to worry that we're not going to get a very customized map or something that differentiates our island from another island. But I am confident that this is going to show up eventually, and I'm surprised we haven't seen it yet, but it seems like they're working off this same build to really perfect this game, and maybe in a future build we'll be able to see just more variety to the things in and around our town. The final thing I want to mention is just some smaller items. Two of these that I care about all of these a lot, but the two from Happy Home Designer that I'm missing so far are ceiling items and rugs. I'm surprised we haven't seen these yet. We've seen the interior of a couple homes, but neither of them seem to have a rug nor a ceiling item. Happy Home Designer really changed things up by allowing us to design with rugs and ceilings. It really made rooms feel different and, just added a lot more character to them. The other thing is gyroids. Thus far, I don't think we've seen a single gyroid in this game. Of course, I don't expect them to go away. They are kind of, I don't know, I feel like to some extent a little bit of a mascot for Animal Crossing. The gyroid shape is one that's been around for a long time and you've always been able to collect them, so I expect to see them again. Maybe we're seeing a bigger redesign on those because we have been seeing a lot of new things in this game, things that are familiar but could be updated, so I don't know what they're planning to do with gyroids, but I'm hoping they're still in the game. Anyways, these are a lot of the features. I'm sure I missed a lot that some of you care about deeply, and maybe I'll do an update to this, but as far as I know, or as far as what I had time for, is these are the ones that I kind of wanted to point out to everybody, some features that we're still waiting on Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm really excited for this game, and I am pretty glad that we've seen just a little bit of it so far, and I'm really excited about what the future is for this game, because I have a feeling it's going to be so big and good and just keep us playing for longer than any other Animal Crossing has been playable, essentially. So, anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember, hit that subscribe button. I do a lot of Animal Crossing content. We always have the podcast that you can listen to for many more in-depth topics and discussions about the game. And of course, you can always catch these videos, and I have a lot of ideas since this last trailer for content that you all could enjoy. So be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all next time. Bye!